You've probably never heard of a company called ASML, but believe it or not, it holds our entire digital world in its hands. So today, we're going to explore how this single quiet firm engineered a global choke point that really defines modern power.
Now, that might sound like some kind of wild exaggeration, but I promise you, it's not. Deep in the Netherlands, a company called ASML has quietly, almost secretly, become the absolute foundation that our entire modern economy is built on.
And just think about the consequences here. They're almost unthinkable. If ASML were to suddenly stop its operations, the ripple effects would be catastrophic. The progress of AI, it would just stop, dead in its tracks. The yearly release of new smartphones, forget about it. The technological edge that defines modern military power, it would just evaporate.
So that leads to the obvious question. How on earth did this happen? How did one Dutch company create a bottleneck so complete, so powerful, that no other country, not even the wealthiest superpowers, can even come close to competing?
To get that answer, we've got to look at what ASML actually makes. And trust me, it's not just some product. It is a true marvel of modern engineering. Okay, so the source of their incredible power is something called the Extreme Ultraviolet Lithography Machine, or EUV for short. And ASML is the only company in the entire world that can build them. Think of it like a crazy advanced projector. But instead of using light to put an image on a screen, it uses extreme ultraviolet light to etch these impossibly tiny patterns onto silicon wafers. And that's how you create the brains for every advanced electronic device on the planet. These aren't just complicated. They are, without a doubt, the most complex devices humans have ever managed to sell.
So just how complex are we talking? Well, let's start with the price tag. A single one of these machines costs a staggering $350 million. For that price, you could buy yourself a whole fleet of private jets.
And then there's just the sheer size of these things. They're so massive, so unbelievably huge, that it takes 3 fully loaded Boeing 747 cargo planes just to ship one machine to a customer like Intel or Samsung.
But if the price and the size don't blow your mind, the precision absolutely will. The work these machines do is like trying to hit a golf ball on the moon with a laser pointer from Earth. It's an impossible feat of engineering, and somehow they pull it off thousands of times a minute every single day.
Okay, so they have this impossible machine, but how do they stop someone else from just copying it? Well, the answer is all in their strategy, and how they've basically locked down the entire global supply chain to create what you might call an unbreakable moat. You know, in the business world, we call this a moat. It's like a defensive barrier around your company, but ASML's isn't just any moat. It's what people call impenetrable. It's so strong that competitors can't even get close to the castle walls. So how'd they build it? Well, it really comes down to 2 things. First, they poured billions and billions into relentless, high-stakes research and development for decades, way before it was ever profitable. And second, they built this incredible web of exclusive supplier networks. I mean, the one company that makes the world's best optical lenses, Zeiss in Germany, works almost exclusively with ASML. This isn't just a contract, it's a deep, collaborative partnership that literally no one else can get access to. And this is the killer part. This combination creates a complete lock-in. A rival can't just come along and steal the blueprints, because what they'd really need to steal is an entire global ecosystem of specialized suppliers, brilliant scientists, and genius engineers that took ASML decades to build from the ground up. They lack the entire infrastructure. Now, when you have this kind of technological dominance, it's only a matter of time before it spills over into global politics. ASML isn't just a company anymore. It's a critical piece on the geopolitical chessboard.
Right now, as we speak, there's a silent war being fought over this exact technology. These EUV machines are so critical to national security and economic power that governments have put official bans in place to stop them from being sold to certain countries.
You see, for Western nations, the goal is pretty straightforward. Stay ahead technologically. And the strategy to make that happen, control this one single choke point. By controlling ASML, they effectively control the entire future of advanced computing.
What this all means is that ASML has become something more than just a company. It's transformed into the ultimate geopolitical lever. Its machines are now a tool of statecraft, a way for governments to exert influence and maintain a strategic edge without ever firing a shot.
So what's the bottom line here? Where does this leave us? The reality of the situation is, well, it's pretty stark. And honestly, it's a little scary. So let's just run through the key takeaways here.
First, every single major tech company you can name, Apple, Nvidia, Samsung, you name it, is completely vulnerable, completely dependent on this one supplier. And that means our entire digital world is built on a foundation with a single point of failure, which makes ASML, without a doubt, the single most important player in the global struggle for technological dominance.
And all of this leads to one, frankly, chilling conclusion. The moat that ASML has built is so deep, so complex, that they aren't just difficult to compete with. For the foreseeable future, they are entirely impossible to replace. The world has no choice but to rely on this one quiet company in the Netherlands to basically keep the lights on for our entire digital civilization.